Hello, Lisa. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you here.
Thank
If you
you.
have any questions, you can type on YouTube. If you want to join on Zoom, there's a link that is posted. And go ahead, Lisa.
Okay, so before I start, I just want to say a little bit about what I do. I have a weekly meeting, a YouTube meeting every Sunday night, and then every fourth Sunday I have a Zoom meeting. And if you're interested in coming to those, you can sign up on my website, which is probably linked on the Nothing FM page. And also, I do one-to-one sessions. And if you would like to give a small donation for this talk, for my time, I would really appreciate it. Okay, let's see. What seems to happen is people seek for something. They seek for an answer. They seek for an experience, a better way. They look outside for an answer, as if something's coming, or as if somebody has the answer. Trying to find a way to life, to life, really, because I mean, most people, they just want to come alive, don't they? They feel like they're not alive, but in the seeking of life, or whatever you want to call it, it's like the mystery of life, isn't it? The wonder of life. There's this imperative to reach out, for those seeking for the wonder of life, but in that is missed the actual wonder of life. And often that gets judged by, well, I don't have the experience of it, or my experience doesn't match up with somebody else, what somebody else says, that there's this levels thing or there's this judgment thing. But what's being missed is that you are all there is. What is here is all there is. This is the life. You are the life. And I don't like to use non-dual language in this regard. I don't mean you as a self or a no self. I just talk normally. But you are the life. And what we do is we judge it against an ideal that I have to be a certain way and I have to experience a certain thing in order to reach that goal. The goal's never going to be met because there is no other than just here. And here is already totally as it is, totally free. And even if there's this crushing sense of I'm still a me, or I'm not a higher self, or I'm not all these things, that crushing sense is well, for a start, it's not true because each one is their own universe. You already are totally complete. This is already totally complete, and the total completion of what is the whole of life being itself totally. There is no other. There is no other experience. There is no other life but this one. You could say that you're it, that's it. There is only that. And there is no teaching that can get you to there, because it can't be any more here than what it already is. And if one looks in one's own experience, it's usually found that it's never ever been anything but what is. But the seeking is based on judgment, measurement, ideologies, and doubt, self-doubt, and all these different things. And none of them are true, because you can just see it for yourself that this is it. And not meaning as in one particular thing, like a measurement of any kind, but this is it. It's here in every regard. And there's no right way to do it or wrong way to do it. It'll be done as it's done. And that is in itself perfection. I don't mean perfection as a judgment. It's just perfectly happening, just as it is. Okay, I'm going to keep that short. Please feel free to jump in. And I see there's a question. Yes, you are very free to donate already. Thank you. The energy of seeking and the suffering that went along with it seems to have died, but at times I have fears that energy will return. Any advice on dealing with this fear? It's just a thought. It's just a thought, because there's probably the thought there. I mean, I don't know, only you know, really. There's the thought that, well, I suffered then. I don't want that suffering to return. And it's just a memory of suffering. And it's probably just a fear of suffering, but it's just a thought. That's all it is. Fears are based on thoughts and ideas. Yeah, I can't really say more than that. Hi, Thomas. All kinds of thoughts happen, don't they? But they're just thoughts. They have no real basis in reality. They're just thoughts. They just happen. And they seem so real. And then they disappear, and you think, well, what was that? What was that all about? And it was nothing. It was nothing. Another tendency I see, I notice a lot in talking with people, is the use of language. And having the correct use of language doesn't bring you any closer to what is. It makes no difference. You can say this body mind as much as you like, and it's not going to make any difference to anything. See, there's no measurement. You see, this is the thing that interests me very much. Is we measure up, and there is no measurement for life. There can't be. It's an impossibility. It's all in the mind. The measurement of, do I reach this height, is just all in the mind. The same as any thought that if I do this, this, and this, then my me might drop away, or I might find my higher self, or whatever it is that one is invested in. I'm not saying that neither aren't true. It doesn't really matter, because the life that is already complete, whatever it appears as. I guess most people are looking for comfort. They're looking for, not everybody, but most people are looking for to feel better. I don't think seeking makes one feel better. I think the end of seeking makes one feel better normally. Or seeing that I was measuring, you've got to see it for yourself. Like, I've got to measure myself up to something that I'm not. I'm still a me, is often the judgment that's made. It's like, well, life's appearing as a me. So what? Doesn't mean it's wrong. We didn't have that judgment when we were little children running around, you know. We didn't have that judgment. We came to that judgment later in life. Intend and receive. So judgment is also nothing like any other thought, right? Yeah. I mean, really, I encourage people to see things for themselves, you know, because nobody's going to have the answer for you. The best we can do is maybe inspire each other or help each other. But really, when you look at it for yourself, I think you've already answered your own question. You know, so you look at judgment and you really look at it. I'm having a judgment about myself, and oh my God, I'm still a me. Da, da, da. When you really look at it, it's a bunch of thoughts happening. None of them have any reality in that way. If there is no one seeking, I'm guessing there really isn't seeking, only apparent seeking. Said the other way, in seeking, there is only seeking, no seeker, and nothing sought. I might put my glasses on to read that again. Well, there's only just what is. There's just what is. All those things are just thoughts. If there's no one seeking, well, is there someone or is there no one? Or is there neither? Are even those things thoughts? Do we spend most of our day walking around thinking, I'm someone, or now I'm no one, or now I'm someone? Probably not. Unless it's a desperate case of seeking. Well, seeking happens. Seeking happens. It's like me saying there isn't really tea. Well, tea is happening. Tea is. What it is a mystery. This whole life is a mystery. And whatever answer that I've ever come across, the answer comes and it goes and it never stays, because life, the mysterious life, is always changing and moving. So in other words, seeking, there is only, in seeking there is only seeking, no seeker, nothing sought. Well, all I can say is seeking happens. There's only just what is. We make it complicated. We make it so complicated. There's just sitting in a room. I mean, if that floats your boat, all that stuff, then that's fine as well. You know, there's no right and wrong in this, but I would ask, like, what does any of that really mean? What is what is? What is what is? What is what is. It's just here, it's just this, it's life happening. Any more than that, it gets into sort of convoluted ideology of, well, what is this? Which is fine. But for me, it's sitting in a room talking to you guys. That's what is. For me, it's just sitting here, simply life being what it is, which thoughts will call problematic. Whatever gives you a problem, whatever thoughts give you a problem, I would say they're problematic. The thing is what I'm trying to say is that nobody has the answer for you to be more life than what you already are. You can never be more life than what you already are. You are absolute life. Absolute life. Does seeking really happen? The thought I'm seeking is not seeking. Well, there's the thoughts, there's the thought and the feelings. Yeah, I mean, we get into this non-dual language as if it's a thing. It's like questioning, does tea drinking really happen? Maybe there is no tea drinking. It's like trying to make something out of nothing. It's trying to make, it's making a storm in a teacup. If that floats your boat, then fine. But if it's problematic, maybe not so much. I don't know about you guys, but I used to find seeking really problematic. Desperately searching for something until eventually, you know, the mind was on its knees and just gave up. It just gave up. It's just finished. And guess what? It was still this. It was still just this. Hi to people joining Zoom. Nice to see your faces. I like the grid better. Last time it was Zoom, I just had it on speaker thing, but I like this. I like the grid better. It's nice. See, when I see these faces, I don't see seekers. I just see life. That's it. Hi, Phyllis. So you could really say that I'm seeking, if that's happening, it's just a thought. It's just a thought. Nothing's ever going to come of it anyway. It'll always just be what is. Nothing ever comes of it. Ah, the irony. I think that's what happens when people laugh, you know, when it hits them in the face. It's just the irony of it. The wonderful thing is that what I'm talking about is really not complicated at all. It's the most obvious thing ever. Isn't it, right? It's just crazy. Amazing that it's amazing that we have to come to a talk to see the most obvious thing ever. Someone sees the funny side of it. Oh, but isn't it just... And sometimes it's like, it's not good enough. It's just like, no, but this isn't good enough. Just completely overlooking like the actual fact that like, what the hell is it to begin with? I mean, isn't that crazy that we're here at all? It's the most incredible thing, that we're here at all. We try to work it out by there's someone here, there's no one here, there's a higher self, there's a lower self, there's it, but we're just here without all those thoughts and concepts. We're just sitting in a room. Is there any perception of being a person or in a location? Just be with... Oh, okay. Oh, this is lots of different things. Is there any perception of being a person or in a location? I don't know. See, personhood and non-personhood are a kind of a gestalt. They're two ideas. It's easier for me to say, I'm just sitting here, but there's no idea of somebody sitting here. I like to just call it as it is. There's no idea of person or no person. Neither apply unless I decide to navel gaze and go into the subject, which I don't. Location, only if it's just not something that's thought about. This is again is the you call it, I'd call it a non-dual gestalt. Trying to have this idea of no location and location, it's just all in the mind. When neither of that applies, what's left? Just sitting in a room. Just be with no judgment or expectation on life. But seeking is what is. Yeah, but it's shit. That's like saying hunger is what is. It's like, yeah, but go and get some food. Keeping room in yourself for the new. Yeah, that's nice. Yes, obvious, but not enough. Yeah, if it feels like not enough, maybe the question would be, what exactly am I looking for? If you don't know what you're looking for, and it's just some amorphous kind of idea, then maybe it's good to look at that and see that it's just really nothing. If you're looking for a new house, then you just go and look for a new house. But if you don't know what you're looking for, maybe that's a good question to ask yourself. That's what I would ask myself. Who do? Sorry, I don't understand. Just sitting, it's boring. Yeah, but right now, I'm talking about right now. In half an hour, I'll be doing something else. I used to say to my daughter, it was probably a bit naughty to say to her as a teenager, when she said, I'm bored, I'd just say, only the boring get bored. She'd be like, I'm not boring. Stop being bored then. From Facebook. Hi, Prechi. After the apparent awakening, do thoughts like something's happening to me still happen? Well, I think the first sentence of that statement is irrelevant, because there's just what is. That's just what is. It's just seen through, like my whole, I don't talk about myself much, but I'll say that my whole life was believing that I was this person called Lisa, and that I was unlovable, insignificant, insecure. I would measure myself up to everybody. I would go through hell. And then it was seen that the whole thing is just a story. It's just a story. And when all that vanished, it's just seen through that story, it's just life is so much more enjoyable. It's just so much more enjoyable. It's so much freer. I used to paint back then and be like always judging it, like, oh, maybe I should like do this and this. It's like, no, now I just do what I want. Hi, Paul. Why is seeking so depressing? Well, God, there's so many answers to that question. Why is it depressing for you? Usually it's because we think that something's wrong with us and that we haven't got there yet. And there's this lofty place, this pot of gold at the end of the rainbow called higher self or no self, depending on your paradigm, that will make everything okay. But you can probably see in your own experience that it's never been anything but life here. What is this? It's just what's here, life, here. And that's not, that's whatever it is in your universe, the universe of Rajiv is what is. Seeking seems fun and playful. Why all the negative connotations about seeking? Because it's not always seeking. It's usually unpleasant for most people. Exploring the mysteries of the universe when there's nothing at stake is really fun and playful. Really fun and playful. I love metaphysics and I love all that I love all that stuff. And it's a kind of an exploration. I called it an exploration or inquisitiveness or wonder, interest. But the seeking normally in this term usually has the connotation of seeking for something to happen to me that will make everything okay. If it's not like that for you, then that's great. But it's not like that for most people. For most people, it's a measurement. Is this what's longed for? Well, that depends. Sometimes people long for not this. Well, this is all, what is life here? This is such a commonly word term that's become like a capital T thing. But I'm just talking about whatever's happening in your life is all there is happening for you. That's all there is that's happening, no matter what it is. Even if it's lofty ideas of, trying to open yourself up to God or whatever it is, it's all there is. I'm not sure if I could say is what's longed for, because I suspect that many people have many different longings. Too slow. I don't know what you mean by that. Ness Aya. I have no idea what you're talking about. Any answer is never going to be good enough. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that you get an answer and it's just not quite it? It's never quite it. So people are on their tiptoes waiting for the next one. Maybe the next one will be the one that sets everything off, and this personhood will drop and everything will be all fine. How did you feel when you first fell away? It was a concept that fell away. There is no me and there is no me. It was a concept that fell away. How did I feel? Weird. That's how I felt. Very, very weird. Because you get used to living in a paradigm of being someone, going somewhere, getting somewhere, being somebody, achieving the goal of enlightenment or being a millionaire or whatever it is. And you live on that fuel. And it's a kind of always living like this idea of being 1 second ahead, or it's always being out here. Oh my God, sorry. When that whole paradigm of living out here is no longer there, it's just very strange. It's like a big part of your life falls away. But nothing changes because it's always still what it always was. Okay, just thoughts, words, and stories. But the problem is when someone believes in them. Yes. Yes, and bases their whole sense of inner peace on them or happiness on them. It's just this and nothing else. Yeah, whatever it is for each one. Because there's no... See, the word this is problematic because it means that it's something solid. But each universe is completely different. And you'll never know another universe apart from what is your universe. And that can be anything. There's no rules about that. Some people have fantastical things happen to them, don't they? Ghosts and angels and that sort of stuff. Not me, unfortunately. But that, you know.
How does it work? Can I just start talking to you, or do you have some kind of system with raising the hands?
No, just jump in.
Okay, so I just jumped in then.
Yeah.
And you used the word here. I don't remember exactly what you said, but maybe you said being here or something like that. But anyway, what do you mean with here?
Well, where are you right now? You could say I'm here.
I could say that, but I asked you, what does it mean? I know
I'm just here. It's just here. It's just here in my room.
Yeah, but that means for me the word here has a connection with the word there, somewhere else.
But there is no somewhere else for you right now.
that is why I ask you, what does it mean with here if there is not someone else, somewhere else?
You can only imagine somewhere else, but you can't actually be there. You can't be here in my room at the same time as being there, unless you're like a remote viewer or something. And even then, it's still just what is.
Yeah, what this works with me, but here to me creates a dualism of nothing,
Yeah, that's
something
because
that
we
is
get.
not here.
Yeah, that's because we get tangled up in the words of non-dualism.
No, not really. I'm just asking you, what do you mean when you say here?
Just what is, just what is. It's all the same to me.
So you could equally say there then.
In what regard?
You say it's all equal, then there is equally good as here then.
There?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not there, I'm here.
Yeah, but you said it was all equal.
It's all equal.
Yeah, you said that.
In regards to what? I don't understand what you're saying.
No, we don't seem to communicate, but you said that it's all the same to me, you said. We're getting nowhere.
Yeah, I'd have to go from scratch again, because I don't really use a language, you see. Because the what I'm talking is not in the words. I just use normal language. All I can say is, I'm just here. That's it.
Yeah, and that is what I don't understand. What does it mean being there?
Well, I'm just here in this room.
Okay.
What else would it mean?
No, I'm asking you.
I'm
not telling you.
No, but I like to ask questions. I like to hear what you think it means.
Well, I cannot think what you mean when you say the word here. That is what I'm asking you. If you ask me when you use the word here, there, here, what did you mean? Then I could have an answer probably. But now I try to answer you, ask you.
Yes.
But we're not getting anywhere. It seems. So.
Yes. Well, all I can say is, I'm just here. It's just here. It's just what is. It's what's happening. It's this. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just really simply here. What is? The room, my hands, the table, the computer, the cat, you, the screen. I can't know what else to say about it. There's nothing else to say about it. Without getting into concepts.
What about, I don't think you use that word, but others use it, as you know, the word presence. Is that the same for you, or is that something else?
I have no interest in that.
Okay.
Because I'd have to explore it as a thing, but it still would just be what is.
I think I get it now. I was trying to get a more clear feeling for how the way you use language now that I have the opportunity to go into a dialogue.
Sort of like sneakily simple. Maybe a bit too simple, maybe a bit too simple, but there is only simplicity in the end.
Yeah, but that tends to be silent, for me at least. So.
Well, that's simplicity for you, yes. Yeah. For me too, whatever is simple, it's all simple. Whether it's a raging headache or silence or having a chat or watching a movie or painting or whatever, it's all simple. It's all simply is. Whatever it is for you will be different from what it is for me, for sure.
So there are two of us then?
I have no idea.
But you just said so.
Yeah, because I'm talking to your face on the screen. So I just like to use normal language.
Okay.
Rather than having the concept there's someone there or there's no one there. Because in the end, I have no idea. I have no idea if any of this is real. Never mind if you're real. I don't even know if I'm real. No idea at all. But that's just so, that fills my heart. Like, oh, it's brilliant.
I get that, but it was just that when you use the word here, to me that feels a bit limiting in a way.
Yeah.
So that's the reason for the question.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Because that's my only experience. Even when I was on magic mushrooms in my 20s and flying past planets, it was still just what is.
Now we're getting somewhere.
It's a long time ago.
I never been into that, so I'm a bit curious. But let's leave some space for others. Thank you.
Thank you. So language here is the description. Yeah, it's a description. I mean, what can you call the whole of life, the universe, and everything, which is just here? There's just no words for it, is there? You would call it God or presence or consciousness or eternity, but no word really touches the complete wonder of just this. Nothing touches it. Like that. Here, there, and everywhere, all at once, and not quite ever. Cool. Non-locality. See, I don't know about non-locality or locality. It's funny, these things just absolutely don't interest me. That's not a criticism. It just doesn't. It's just all of life is right here as this happening. And then you think locality, non-locality. It just goes bush and just deadens everything. Just deadens it flat. You know your heart. I know what swells my heart. Many things, but the unknowableness of life is incredible, really incredible. We try to narrow it down into little boxes. Make it boring, actually. It's far from boring, is it? Like being alive, or whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. I know people are into words, but whatever you want to call it, it's far from boring. It's a life. It's life. Okay, a quarter of an hour. Would anyone else in the Zoom like to jump in? Doesn't even have to be a question. Whatever. Hi, Julie. It's alive. Yay. It is. It's alive. It's too confusing. Oh, sorry. Harry Potter back on again. It's too confusing to the mind and totally clear somewhere. Yeah. It's like this. It's just all these contradictions, isn't there? There's all these contradictions that never make any sense because nothing seems to make any sense. Becoming familiar, a value. Sorry, I don't understand. Hi, Joy. Joyous joy. For me, there's no where that isn't here, no when that isn't now, and no thing that isn't this. Ha! Yeah, totally. Unknowing equals life equals here, whatever. Yeah, yeah. Your thoughts on Tony Parsons and Jim Newman? I've never been to see Jim. Obviously know of him. I've met Tony. I know I speak a different sort of stuff from Tony, but I really enjoyed Tony. I know that it's a slightly different thing, but it's not really at the same time, because everyone's talking about the same thing. Eventually, everything only is the same thing. Ironically, that's what it comes down to, isn't it? Non-duality is basically playing with empty concepts, nothing else. For many time, I saw a non-dual person talk for hours, and then she says, it was just a story. What is the need for storytelling? Don't we do storytelling every time we meet a friend for coffee? There's no need for anything. Just enjoy life, really. Stories are fine. So many people say to me, oh, no, it's just a story, but it's like, is it? Is it really though? Or isn't it? What do we know? What do we know? What do we know about stories? Yeah, you got it, obviously. Got it. Oh dear, I could listen to the last hour. I don't have anything. I'm just sitting here. Nothing. Except for everything. And everybody's got everything. Everybody. Too easy. It is too easy. I would say it's too simple almost. Simple rather than easy. Easy requires effort or implies effort or no effort. What I'm talking about has got nothing to do with effort or no effort. It's just simply life happening. Let's just keep it at that. Just simply life happening. But that's not an answer. No. Nobody needs an answer. Nobody needs an answer. Everybody is already life, the whole of it. Are we still online? Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Lisa, can I ask you a question?
Yes, please. Hi.
Hi. I'm actually, I think you're in the south of Spain, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm up in Catalonia, so we're two Brits outside the UK, but never mind. I was sort of interested. I'm enjoying hearing you talk a lot.
Thank you.
I was interested, probably because yesterday was the day it was. Do you have any sense of the way you talk as being gendered, reflecting the fact that you are a woman?
Not at all. It's the last thing on my mind.
I have to. I mean, I have to say, I'm not at all surprised that you say that. It's just that, like before, when somebody asks you, about your opinion about Tony Parsons and Jim Newman and so on, and I mean, you said what you said. Having listened to them, and there's plenty of difference between each one of those guys, right? They have a different style,
Yeah.
but it feels to me like there's a sort of they would never probably be happy for me to suggest this, but rather like in sort of Eastern spiritual setups,
Sure.
there's a sort of passing generation, right? Not disciple, but there's a sort of passing of a certain energy between one and the other, and so I feel a similarity there, which when I hear you talking, I don't feel that at all. But I do have a strong sense that you are all, like you said, essentially talking about the same thing. And I was just trying to make sense of what I was feeling.
It's called a glamour.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone has their own glamour. Okay.
It's called a glamour. If you assign somebody importance, you will get that sense from them. That's how gurus operate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the guru's fault. Well, sometimes it is. If you assign somebody as having something, unless they're really being really obvious, like, no, I'm not that somebody who has something that you don't have. You see, for me, that wouldn't be true.
Mm.
Because it's ridiculous. I don't have any more life than you have. It's insane to even consider that. But sometimes there can be this idea that somebody has something more because they're maybe, I don't know why, but it happens. And it's this idea, like if someone gives you the idea that something's being transmitted, it's amazing how the mind can think that's true.
Mm.
Have you ever been with somebody where you give them loads of respect and they felt like you were transmitting something and you fell out of love with them? The transmission stopped. Ever had that with like a guru or a...
No, the thing is that when I attend these sessions, and occasionally you hear people about, not during the sessions, but sometimes in the chat between them, I realize there are some people who've spent years on the road of looking for gurus or following gurus. I mean, years and years. And well, luckily, when I first read Yogananda, I understood that a guru could be a book. So I then realized I didn't have to go to India. There were some books which spoke to me in a way. And so, no, I haven't actually been in that situation. And I realized that the sort of professional seekers, they don't actually have any more advantage over somebody who hasn't been in ashrams for 30 years.
Absolutely.
In terms of understanding what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Although many of those men that I mentioned before, they did put in their years of seeking before they then had this insight, which told them that seeking was a waste of time. But they did put those years in.
Yes, I did too. But ironically, it's when I gave up.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I suppose, I mean, okay, but maybe the sort of the theory of action and reaction. When you give up, it's not that nothing happens, it's that you're in a sort of rebound situation. And it could be that, could be that rebound situation which somehow opens some new understanding. No?
I don't think it's got anything to do with anything.
Okay.
Because life's here. It's not there. It's not in that moment in time.
Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah, it's always, isn't it? It
Yes,
can't be
it's
anywhere
always
else.
here. Yes. Doesn't matter what happens. There's no getting to life. It's like, by saying that, it's like, well, maybe I need to put in 25 years of seeking to get to that point. But then we're talking about the story of a point of someone who's not even in the room.
Hey, Lisa, we have a question from Elango.
All right.
Yeah, live. Elango, if you want to unmute your microphone.
Yes.
Hi,
Am I audible?
Elango.
Yes, Lisa. Thank you for accepting, and thank you, Emerson. Lisa, my name is Ilango. I'm from India. I'm a seeker for the last 30 years.
I know exactly who you are.
Oh, okay.
You're a very famous seeker.
Is it so? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So my profession is that I'm a medical doctor.
Yes.
And I have a couple of questions. Are you a teacher?
No.
Then what's happening now?
What's happening? I love
Yes.
life. And I love to talk about it. I love to share that life is here and life is a mystery and it's beautiful.
Are you not a teacher?
No, I've got nothing to teach.
Were you a seeker earlier?
Yeah, but none of that matters, Alango, because there's only just sitting here talking. None of that's important.
But you were once a seeker like us, because we are in a different realm and you are after enlightenment in a different realm.
No, I'm not.
So
I'm not even in the room with you. I'm just a screen in your room. I'm just a face on your screen. And you're making up all kinds of stories about that face on your screen, saying words.
But my question is, you were a seeker once, seeking enlightenment. I mean, I'm just clarifying.
I was also a witch dancing around a fire at some point too. I recommend that. That's fun.
But the portal that we are in today, Nothing FM Media, the slogan of the organization by Emerson and Joey is that they help us with the meetings with teachers, and that is how I look at you. And I think most of us who are seekers here looking at you we look at you as a teacher wanting to teach us something.
There's nothing on my description that says teacher. You might want to look at me that way, but it's not true. I'm just sitting here talking.
Okay, in 2020,
people might like it or might not like it, whatever.
No, in the present year now, maybe after a couple of years, maybe 5 years after enlightenment, what you're saying is true to you. But as you speak to me, I'm finding it very difficult to, digest and accept that, because I am a seeker, I am a student, and I want lessons so that I reach the space that you are in. It's as simple as that.
I've never talked about enlightenment on this talk. Not once have I said I'm enlightened.
But I think you did say that, you were seeking a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was a complete waste of time. Well,
what was the shift?
I could have been having fun and not worrying about myself.
What is this self that you're talking about?
I just can't. I mean, the self. I mean, then we've got to get into all this whole thing of the self and the no self and I'm just talking normally. It's like me saying the tea that isn't really here, tea, but might be, but isn't, maybe some metaphysical realm, but who knows? It's just like, just have a cup of tea rather than, unless it floats your boat, but it doesn't sound like it floats your boat. It sounds to me like there's something you really really want.
Lisa, I mean, like, as seekers, we are very serious. And as you give an example of a teacup,
not
I have
everybody.
not come to a cafe for tea. I have come to learn. That's how I look at it, and that's what FM does to seekers like me or students like me who are searching enlightenment. And
Yes.
we understand from teachers like you that post your enlightenment, post your shift, you totally deny all the paths. I mean, some of you, not all the teachers. If you look at the Indian original Vedic studies, Ramana or Osho, they had methods. But now, post Tony Parson, we have a new wave of teachers who are telling us there is nothing to teach.
We're just sitting here, Elango.
But you're trying to tell us something, right? While you're sitting there.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you that we're just sitting here.
No, for example, FM Nothing Media has an itinerary for a month where they say, the second Tuesdays, 5 p.m. They have a time. They have timed your time for your speech. Though you say your timelessness and spacelessness, there is a time for your speech. 5 p.m. The clock says. And we live in a space-time dimension. Yeah.
I just don't care. It's really not interesting to me.
Lisa, we understand that it's not interesting to you, but it's a life-saving device for me and seekers like me who look at you for some sort of direction.
I'm never going to give you a direction. Never. Because you're already everything, already. And you'll never find it because you can't find what you already are or what already is. You can't find what already is because it already is. There's no getting around it. So I'm never going to have an answer for you because you're it. It's impossible. It's an impossible conundrum for the seeker. It's impossible.
Well, why do you say that it is impossible for a seeker?
Because you can't find you can't find what is. Because it already is.
I'm not trying to find what is because I know what is. What is now
then
is
you're
that
in the wrong place. If you're trying to find enlightenment, this is not the place.
But do you accept the term at least that there is something called enlightenment and maybe this is not the place?
I don't know. It doesn't interest me. Because it's not here as a thing.
Don't you accept there is something called a spirituality in this world?
Oh, what, sorry?
Spirituality.
Possibly. Maybe.
Because a couple of years ago, you were a seeker and probably, the memories are distant.
I wouldn't say a couple of years ago. I gave up seeking for like 6 years. I had a midlife crisis.
So before 6 years, you were a seeker too.
Yeah, well, it just doesn't matter. It's got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Nothing.
So what are you talking about?
Take drugs in my youth. It's like saying, to get here, you're all going to take drugs, or you got to become a vegan. I don't know, whatever. It's just you can't get here. You can't get here. You can't find what is. It's you're looking in a mental world for something, and I wish you good luck. I do.
Can I clarify?
And when you find it, maybe you can come on Nothing FM and tell everybody.
No, can I just clarify something? I'm not
I have
trying
to go
find
soon, by the way. The team is patiently waiting for me to finish.
Pardon?
My time is up, so just quickly, please.
Yeah, my clarification is I'm not trying to find what is, because that's a very simple thing. Every human being can find what is. For example, I am as Ilango talking and asking a question to you. I'm looking
Yeah.
at what is called, like where is the end of human suffering, which happens post the shift. And something may help us when talking to teachers. That is what I'm looking at.
It
I'm
sounds
not
like
looking
you're
at
suffering from seeking to me.
I'm not looking at, entering the this, because I know I am in the this. It's a very simple thing. I need not, come to a teacher to find out how to be in the present. I am already in the present. The only thing is, how can
You're
I?
already everything. You're already everything. You can't find to be present. Even when you're having the thoughts of when I'm enlightened next year, it's still here. That doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter what thoughts you have. It's never going to be anything but what is. And I'm going to have to cut you off. I'm very sorry. I have to go.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. It's
Because
been very nice
the
speaking to
team
you.
are patiently waiting for me to finish.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry to anyone's questions I didn't answer. I just didn't have the time. But thank you for all your interactions. And I also enjoyed our conversation, Lalango. I have to say, I did.
Thank you so much.
It wasn't a criticism of you. I just have
Pardon?
to say it as it is,
Okay.
how it is.
I think
I
wish
really
we had
don't
more
think
time.
I'm the person for you.
We don't know. Maybe a prolonged conversation
Maybe. Yeah. There's lots of choice on Nothing FM though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm definitely not a teacher, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much,
Thank you,
everybody.
Lisa.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah. Oh, and if you'd like to drop me a donation, I'd be very grateful.
If you guys want to go to Lisa's page or Nothing FM, there's a donation for Lisa. Thank you so much for doing this, Lisa.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you next
Thank you
month.
for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your laughs. Didn't go unnoticed.
Nice.
Bye. Do I just leave, Emerson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Leave.